and United. It's Arsenal this weekend and Liverpool.
Zinedine Zidane knows that this is not the best time to talk about Salah. Liverpool have a very important game to play against Real Madrid.
Let him go to Barcelona.
I repeat, Mourinho will never accept.
Now you have so many attacking players in that team.
ABN Sports, showing live Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. West African time on the African Broadcasting Network, ABN.
It's so good to be alive this morning and to be right here where I like to be, where we like to be on Arise Africa, talking to you, having a relationship with you more or less. Welcome to Arise Africa. I am Chichi Wambo.
And I am Boye Mark Anthony. Welcome to another exciting time on television today. And yes, it's a beautiful weekend. It's a awesome, today is the last Friday of the month of October, and the month is gradually coming to an end, or rather it's even already ended.
Okay, so we probably want to ask, how was your month?
I
wish you could get back to us, but maybe you should do that online.
Yeah,
we have different social media platforms. You could reach us and tell us, how was your month? Would like to know. So
for me, anyways, for me, it
was a great month.
It was slow, too slow.
I remember we talked about it. Looking at the date.
But funny enough, I think between last week till this week was a bit faster, I think.
Was it? I was actually counting the days anyway. And that was how I got to know that the day after tomorrow is the end of the month.
So yes. Monday, new week, new month.
New month. All right, so we're going straight to the newspaper review for today.
Yeah.
Not for today, beginning from Sunday. The new week. So, Mark Anthony.
All right, we go straight over to Sunday Punch. And it says, FG budget 900 billion naira for agencies. Oronsaye panel recommended for scrapping. Panel wants 263 agencies prone to 161, 38 abolished, 52 merged. Implementation of reports to save federal government over 241 billion naira. That story is in page 1 of the Sunday Punch, and it continues in page 4.
The Guardian newspapers for Monday says, banks in defining moment as e-Naira kicks off today. And it says unease over how digital currency will affect financial intermediation. Nigeria joins Bahamas, Sweden, Cambodia, South Korea as pioneers of CBDC. It's elitist but will enhance efficiency of payment system. We're ready to roll out, CBN insists. That story is on page 1 and continues on page 2 of The Guardian.
All right. All right, we'll move over to Tuesday Tribune, Nigerian Tribune, for Tuesday, 26 October. And the main header there says, Niger Delta demands 50% increase in derivation funds. Northwest demands lion's share of revenue allocation for states and local government. That story is in page 1 and it continues in page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. All right, and then one stuff that it's glaring there at the very top of the Tribune paper. It's PDP convention. How Arakpaja Onyilola's fate will be decided. Efforts intensified to produce consensus candidates, and date of convention stands. PDP. A screening of aspirants manipulated. Ola Feso. That story is in page 22 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Daily Sun has the major header as 2023. PDP wants zone presidency, says Saraki. The story is right there on page 6 and 27. It says, hints of defection of APC bigwigs to opposition party. Appeal court rules on Secondar's case tomorrow. And we've got a story on the right-hand corner, the right-hand corner, that says Southwest governors meet over security situation in region others. The story is on page 3 of the Daily Sun. Alleged terrorism, UN writes Nigeria, Kenya over Kanu. That's the story on page 3 of the Daily Sun newspapers for Wednesday.
All right, we'll move over to Thursday. The Punch again for Thursday, and it says PDP moves to save convention, pressure Secondus over suit. We've received no response to our suit, and says Oyetibo. The ruling holds today. Don't make our party ungovernable. BOT share appeals to Secondus. That's the board of trustees of the PDP, and that story is in page 1, and it continues in page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And then down there you see pictures of people protesting. It says protest over bad Lagos Abeokuta road, unfortunate political, and then that is said by Abiodun, and that's people protesting over the Lagos Abeokuta road. And I think that's all we can take from the Punch.
The Guardian for Friday says PDP's convention rocky as appeal court rules on Secondus today. Okay, that's the major header, and it says members fear another caretaker committee arrangement if ruling goes against party. Finitry upbeat says convention will attract mass defection from APC. PDP Governor Storm Ondo woo Mimiko back to party. Mimiko collapses ZLP into PDP in Ondo to attend convention tomorrow. Ex-Transport Minister biodumps APC for PDP in Kwara. That's a story that starts on page 1 and continues on page 6 of the Guardian newspapers. And there's some pretty, serious stories right here on the Guardian. We've got military claims killing ISWAP leader back home and 38 others. That's stories on page 5. And then we've got Nigeria is disintegrating before our eyes, says Shoyinka. Shoyinka narrates Tosh's ordeal with COVID-19, travel processes returning to the country, tax federal government on efficient management of international travel portal. That story is on page 1 and continues on page 6. The Guardian for today, Friday.
I think we'll go over to the Punch for today, and it says uncertainty reigns as 3,600 delegates arrive in Abuja for PDP convention. Well, I hope they are actually, how will I put it, observing this COVID-19 protocol with the way the crowds and all that moves. All right, only PDP chairman has rights to supervise convention, Oyetibo said. And then PDP convention on track, APC collapse imminent, says Fintiri. And that story is in page 2. All right, and then an interesting story up at the top left corner of the Punch newspaper says 21 billion 14 uh 14 bed Aso Rock Clinic construction begins in November. Wow. 21 billion naira for Aso Rock. Anyways, I hope our president do not travel anymore to the abroad. Let's use the way they say it in Nigeria. To the abroad for health checkup and the rest. All right. Then government workers future shaky as 20 states shun contributory pension scheme. 5 states insist on other pension schemes. 7 still at bill stage. All right. I think that's all we can take for.
Nigerian Tribune says anxiety in PDP as appeal court decides second dose suit today. Convention will open floodgate for defection to PDP, says Finitri. Oshun PDP adopts Oyinlola as candidate for position of Deputy National Chairman. Mimiko rejoins party after meeting with Makinde. Wike Tambowal Ibazu. That story is on page 2 and page 4 and happens to be the major header for the Nigerian Tribune. 8 members remove Plateau House of Assembly Speaker. 14 orders quash impeachment. Suspend 6 principal officers. That's what's going on in Plateau State. And that story is on page 6, right?
Yep.
Page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. I think that's about all I'll take for that.
All right, so we'll move over to Daily Sun for today. I think that's the last paper for today. And it says 2023 can reject Christian, Muslim ticket. Nigeria needs competent, healthy president, Catholic bishop. That story is in page 6 of the Daily Sun. Then at the very top there, you just see a little rider that says FG slams the economics, insists Boko Haram has no caliphate in Northeast. That story, you can find it in page 8 as well. And then troops kill 109 terrorist bandits in 2 weeks. 1,199 surrender. That story is in page 4. A lot of stories in page 4 of the paper. That's the Daily Sun paper. Then Shoinka, if you go down towards the bottom of the paper, you see Shoinka blows out, says Nigeria in a mess. And it's disintegrating. All right, then there's a very nice picture of a man there and says FBN, that's First Bank Nigeria Holdings, appoints Nnamdi Okonkwo as GMD. That story is in page 1. And then the final there says attack on Abuja Kaduna Train Act of Terrorism, railway workers says. And that story, you can find it in page 6 of the Daily Sun. Then we'll go very top. Okay, just one last one. The very top right, and then it says Anambra, we've not called for boycott of election. IPOB. That story is in page 13 and page 27 of the Daily Sun. Rather, I think that's all we can take for newspaper review this Friday morning on Arise Africa. And when we return, it's all about the virtual streets and its social media buzz. When we return, stay tuned. Arise Africa will be right back.
I address the storms of your life. Peace, be still.
Whatsoever is dead in your life tonight, God will revive it.
I said to the spirit behind it, enough is enough.
Experience the raw power of God, the hour of deliverance with Papa Ayo and Mama Helen Nourish Jaffor, showing every day at these times on the African Broadcasting Network, ABN.
Welcome back to Arise Africa, and we go into the virtual street right away to tell you what people are talking about. So we're going to start with the launch of the e-Naira.
Yeah, and yes, it's a good one, but I have my reservations about it. And then it says there was a tweet, and it says PNB has officially launched e-Naira today in Abuja. You see the picture of President Buhari as well as the central bank governor, and then you see our dear Vice President Banjo. This picture alone, there's a lot of talk about it anyways, but that's aside. And now it makes me wonder, why are we against cryptocurrency when we are thinking of going into digital currency as well as a nation? So I don't know what is happening with the CBN and all. I don't know what their strategies are, but a lot of persons are coming to tell us that okay, these guys have not really done proper orientation of what this e-Naira is about. Honestly, Nigerians do not know. Some persons want to see going. They noticed some certain itch and hiccup on the day it was launched, so they said they are still working on it as well. But anyways, let's just take out.
I think maybe what we're going to do is we're going to probably do a lot of research and bring it to you, so we get as much information as we can.
Important.
So we can bring it to you, because we ought to know what's happening in our country. We ought to, because if you do not have the relevant information, there's no way you'll be able to, you know, take advantage of whatever it is that is being launched. So, but anyway, what the show is, it's to let you know that e-Naira has been launched, and we want to look at what a few people, we cannot take all the thousands of people, but we're going to look at what a few people are saying on social media, how they're responding to the launch of the e-Naira. And I've got Michael at Michael Mikit, who says, why do we need e-Naira when we have e-money?
E-money. That's
okay.
So, everybody knows
but I see that someone has responded, so maybe you should take that one.
Yeah, so someone is saying this Eniola, and it says, well, there are differences between cryptocurrencies and digital currencies. While cryptocurrency is a decentralized digital currency backed up by blockchain technology, digital currency is just the digital form of the fiat currency controlled by the CBN of the country. So it's basically, it's still your naira.
It's still your money, but the thing is, it's digital.
Digital, basically.
You don't see it like, it's not like the cash that you see.
Yes, exactly.
It's still your money, and it can be converted to cash as well.
I think there's still a lot of explanation to be done about it. So because most of the time when they're talking about, if you see these traders, when they talk about these things, you understand that, okay, there's more to it than what it seems actually.
Okay.
All right, so
Bitcoin Chief says, my take on the e-Naira, it's a failure on arrival. No clear direction, not distinction, as it's not on the blockchain. Just another wasted taxpayers' money.
So you see, everybody has their reservation. All right, so we'll move over to that's all for the e-Naira. We can go on and on about the e-Naira, but I think what you should do is try to do your research as well. Try to find out about this. On our own part, we'll try to get a guest or something that will come talk to us and try to educate us, so we'll know what the e-Naira is really about. All right, so we'll move over to the second social media buzz for today, and today we will not giving you videos and all that. So today, yesterday we got a report that Facebook changes its company name to Meta. Yeah. So now the thing is, it caused a lot of craziness, because for some time now Facebook has been having kind of bad publicity a lot of time, because of the fact that people are complaining Facebook certain times they are not working. For weeks ago, Facebook, all stuff that were owned by Facebook were down. You get Instagram, a lot of persons could not access WhatsApp and all that. So they have been having a lot of negative publicity recently. So and now coming to people and say they have changed the name. So but what we found out is they just changed the company name, not the Facebook. So some persons, I think, when you go to through the comment sections, you find out that a lot of people were talking to some people because they felt that, now it's no longer Facebook, it's now Meta. I'm like, no, what they did is they changed the company name, so the host name. So, but Facebook still exists
remains.
and all that. Those social media platforms still
Okay,
exist.
so this was conveyed by official Hip TV, who
TV,
says
yeah.
Facebook is changing its company name as it shifts its focus to the metaverse and
yeah.
confronts wide-ranging scrutiny of the real world, right?
Yeah.
Harms from its various platforms after a whistleblower leaked hundreds of internal documents. Founder Mark Zuckerberg said on Thursday that Facebook will change its corporate name to Meta, effectively demoting Facebook's namesake service to being just one of the company's subsidiaries alongside Instagram and WhatsApp, rather than the overarching brand.
All right.
So that's just exactly what it is.
That's what it is. They just changed everything.
So
and
Facebook is no longer like the brand controlling
everything.
Instagram. So
No,
we now have
no.
Meta.
So now Meta is the ones that own
Yes,
exactly.
one of the
Meta owns
subsidiaries.
Facebook. Meta owns Instagram and all. And then so someone said Joe Go HQ says Facebook. That's like trying to have a conversation. Like the Facebook say we are changing our name to Meta. People replying, can you use it in a sentence? And Facebook was like, we've never met a person who likes the idea. Exactly. Nobody
funny.
actually, a lot of persons do not like this idea of the fact that
Okay, Tori once said, are you on Meta? Give me your Meta handle, man.
So and now people like Torians are the ones that are thinking that Facebook has changed to Meta. You get to, so it's not Meta handle actually. Nobody's going to ask you for your Meta handle. All right. So Mark Kelly, this is actually a funny one. Mark Kelly 474 says, which kind of name be this? So this one, no. Mark no one answer his name again, or that those Igbo guys who they work for him for Nigeria won't change them. You know, there's this saying here that an Igbo person can actually convince you to buy whatever you don't. So they are saying that probably they are convinced him to change his name as well. So but anyways, that's all we can that's all we can take for but one thing that we must understand is the social media is important these days. Nobody can really do without it these days. Now, a lot of persons will tell us that they do not have phone, what's it called, card airtime to make calls, but they have data. So that's where we are right now. So, but regardless, just ensure, since we're talking about Facebook right now, just ensure that you stay safe when you use those apps. Do the necessary two-step verifications and all those kind of stuff. Just because one thing that prompted them to make most of these changes were what they've started noticing. Some of their documents are being leaked and all that kind of, so they have to find a way to tighten their security. But will a name change really do that? That's another question. But probably let's hope that they are able to work out something. All right, that's all we can take for social media buzz today. And when we return, we'll return to the crux of the matter. All right, Arise Africa will be right back. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
I am really excited today. You know what? Because Mama helping you. I'm telling you.
We love people hugging us. So this helps the body to feel safe.
We are all leaders in our own right.
Who says you can't even find someone who will love you better?
Makes you focus, drives you. It shows you an agenda.
That's right.
Awesome.
Mama Helen and You with Dr. Helen Norish Jaffor, showing every day at 8:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. West African time on the African Broadcasting Network, ABN.
Today it's going to be all about the Word of God.
Welcome to another episode of Soul Connect.
That you will set the captives free because the anointing is on you and you'll be a Holy Ghost troublemaker.
Because when you hear something and you say something and you'll do something, you'll receive something.
God can transition you to a place of influence and impact by the power of the Holy Spirit.
Join us on Soul Connect on the African Broadcasting Network, showing live every Thursday at 6 p.m. West African time.
Welcome back to Arise Africa. Sustainable urbanization is all about all that goes in to bring in growth and development in a city. Talking about building of roads, economic activities, and so on and so forth. But in doing that, a lot of challenges arise. For example, pollution. Others are, well, dumps, dirtiness, litters, degradation of the environment. What is done to handle this particular problem is what we're going to be talking about today on the show. Thinking about the fact that the World Cities Day is in 2 days, and the world is going to be looking at how to handle issues emanating from urbanization. Today on the show, we're going to be looking at the importance of cleanliness in sustainable urbanization. And I have a guest, Collins Azubike, who's the director of programs Clean Worry. Clean Worry, of course, is an environmental organization. And Collins Azubike has worked with over 1,000 volunteers across the city to provide environmental solution and educational support, to mention but a few. He's right here to talk about the importance of cleanliness. Very important. Very, do I use the word essential? It's an essential topic. How would you like it if you walk down the city or walk around the city and you see litters all over the roads? Would you like that? How does it affect us? How does it affect our personal health? How does it affect, ensure the working of the city is effective? Collins Azubike, it's good to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure
welcome to the show.
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
And getting to know what your team is about and what your company is about, it's something that is mind-blowing. Nobody, a lot of persons are not so concerned about cleaning. You get
cleaning of our cities, to be precise.
Even homes as well. I know a lot of mothers and parents that will be calling now if you give them, like, my child refuses to sweep the house right now.
Yeah.
You get, and then going about. So one question we'll ask before we go further is, how has it been doing the Clean Worry thing? How has it been so far? Has the journey so far? What brought about it and all that? How has it been?
Okay. I think I'll start with how we started.
Yeah.
How we started was there is the original idea was to have a new worry.
Okay.
So I invited a couple of young people doing something remarkable in their various area. So we got together on the 16th of December 2016. So we sat down and started talking about the challenges of the city. There's security, there's education, there is technology, there is environmental. Now, it's not enough for us to just talk about all of these problems. Which of them can we start doing immediately?
Sadly.
So we cannot do police work, we cannot do security. We don't have all the tech resources to be able to get into that. We don't have the money if we say we want to train people to in education, but we can actually go to a particular place and clean it up. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, so right there, Clean Worry was born. So that the idea was supposed to be our thing, because I invited them. Yeah, let's have a new worry. But every project we need a life to consume, and that's where I am right now. So Collins, Oyana, we go support you. So that's the idea. That's how Clean Worry came about. And so far, 2017, 2018, we went about cleaning, going to some strategic areas to clean. We go to this place, we clean it up, we gather young people, and we saw that a lot of young people actually wanted to give back to the society. We're not paying them money to do all of these things, but when it's time for us to clean.
So what's been the impact for this period, 2016 until now?
So we officially kicked off 2017.
Okay.
The impact has been for me, it has, first of all, awakened the consciousness of a lot of young people that they have a role to play in making the environment clean. That's one. Then we've not been able to say that, we can't say that we go to this particular place and we clean it and we go back after 6 months and we see the same way we left it. We can't say that. So we can't measure that impact on the environment. But we can say that we have gotten a lot of young people's consciousness awakening. And some other organizations, we've gotten to meet organizations that say, okay, this is part of our job, and we go as far as much as possible to do what we can do.
Okay, so the fact that you've done this for a number of years now means that you qualify. Absolutely. That's why we invited you on the show to talk about cleanliness in the environment. But that's one of the major targets. That's one of the major functions of your organization. So let's start with defining concepts with regard to this topic. Some would say it's small, but the truth is, what is clean environment in clear terms?
Okay. In clear terms, a clean environment is an environment free from any form of pollution. Simply.
That's pretty broad.
Free from any form of pollution. Now, there are different kinds of pollution. There was a day, there was a time we did a walk from Airport Junction to, I think we ended at Boroke Market, and we started creating a buzz. Now, why were we doing that campaign? We did that campaign because of air pollution. Now, one old woman came out and said, when we were walking, we're sharing handbills, that we're not even particular about, we're not concerned about, not that we're not concerned, but our goal that particular Saturday or Friday was, let's reduce air pollution. The woman said she would prefer that her neighbors get nets and turn off their gen, so that it doesn't just give them fumes, that's dangerous fumes, they are also free from noise pollution. You see that now? So it brings to mind that a clean environment is any environment that is free from any kind of pollution. And certain times we could say pollution are unwanted things or items that are not necessary of use at that particular time in that particular place. So I know that fumes that comes out from generator and cars, that's bad. We don't want it. But this particular glass can be in a place where it's of no particular use or importance. It could be causing pollution, sometimes distorting the aesthetics of that environment. Because one of the challenges that a dirty environment gets to give to a city, it reduces it reduces tourist attraction. You see that now? So if an environment cannot attract people to come because it's dirty, they lose economic value, they lose people coming to see the city. I don't know if that stat has changed, but I know that there was a time that Calgary was the most cleanest city in the world. And guess what? Calgary is an oil city. Just like our own world.
Oil city.
You see that now?
So you didn't mention refuse, you didn't mention
because that's I didn't mention that, because that's the everybody knows about that. So that's why I said that
whatever it is that's polluted.
Yeah. So refuse, dumping on the road, those are general. Those are sometimes when you enter the car I drive, you see
car fumes.
You see it, maybe bottled water or sachet, the one I've drank. Sometimes when you throw it from the car, I say, well, don't do this thing now.
And that's something a lot of people do.
We do that a lot.
A lot of people do.
Thing is, a lot of the educated people do that. A lot of the educated people do that. There was a time I was inside the keke and this woman was eating banana and granuts. So she was eating and she was throwing it out from the keke. I said, madam, don't do this thing now. She said, madam, don't just drop one for the keke. The man fit throw away and later. So the woman now said, I don't know if maybe the woman was angry. She just flamed. Now you get this. Now me, the one we did the road, now me put him. Just calm, made the woman not push me for keke where I live. But the point is, the thing, that banana peel that she was throwing outside the keke, a child can walk on top of that thing and sleep. The banana peel will what's it called, disintegrate. But the sachet that she drank and threw, that one will be there for if not more than 50 if nobody removes it or wind did not disperse it. So a clean environment is any environment free from any form of unwanted items. They could be of value, they could not be of value, they could be liquid, they could be fumes, they could also be solid. So I think
all right. So now one question. You're already going into it a bit already, but I just have to also expatiate more on that. Now it's more of, why is having a clean city important? You know, because you've already started. That's why I said you're already going into it a bit. So why is it important for us to have, like, now, you know, we are broadcasting to not just worry people. We are everywhere. So why is it important for us to have a clean city? Why is it important?
Okay, you know, one of the things I said earlier is that for economic value, tourist attraction. But another thing we should look at is health. Very important. So the first one I said, economic value, tourist attraction, health. Very, very important. We could save a lot of money from the money that we spend in treating ourselves. So health value is of utmost importance. You see, so health, economic value, 2, tourist, 3, posterity. Posterity. Well, a lot of us are living we're living on this earth as if we have somewhere else that we want to go to. We're not getting anywhere we go now. This earth now we could live. So for posterity, let's save the environment so that our children can come and still live on it. So economic value, tourist attraction, health benefit, posterity. Yeah, that's a couple of the ideas that just came, that the reasons why we should have a clean environment. So for health, for economic value, for tourist attraction, for posterity.
I think we kind of touched on the causes of dirty environment, but I'd still like us to go back to it. There was something I saw in one movie. I used to think this may be funny to you, but while I was growing up, I used to think, why would a cockroach die, for example? Like you kill a cockroach and you want to take it away immediately. And then I saw in one movie where they said it's going to come back. Like if it's like what do you call it? If it decomposes, it's going to come back to the atmosphere. You're going to breathe it, and that's not good. That was my motivation. I was not like, if I see that kind of stuff, I'm fidgety. I just want to get it out of the environment because of the health consequences and all that. So let's look again, you know, at the causes, and let's go further by highlighting some of the disadvantages. Like I mentioned one now, and the effects of, you know, dirty environment. We have to make it clear so people can understand. My own, it took they had to tell me this is the reason, like I told you in the movie. That's when I go, but others will say, okay, you kept this thing, so what the hell, even if you're not using it, how does it affect me? You've left it for a very long time. So let's look at the causes and the effects once more.
So let me get the question clear. The question is,
what is responsible for dirty environment, dirty cities, and what are the effects? What are the disadvantages of having this kind of environment?
So the first question is, what is responsible? I like to see the earth, but I like to see our environment as amora. That is like, it's a blank slate. So the what is responsible for dirty environment is we the humans. So it's just like the way they say money is amora. It's either good money in the hand of a good person or bad money in the hand of a bad person. So the environment is amora. It's on its own. What is responsible for a dirty environment is the people. Is we the people.
Our actions, what we do.
Our actions, whatever we do, is the reason why the environment.
I think that's seeing it differently. I thought you were going to mention this and that. But you're tracing it to the source.
It's
like
people that put it there.
So those dirt that you see on the middle of the road, they don't just jump there. Somebody took them there.
True.
They took them there maybe in the dead of the night. And they would now start giving you cogent reasons why they did that. We not get where we go put the dirty. Government not provide for us. But I also think that we can find a way to manage it. Like I said, like I always tell people, right, every society that works is like a three-leg stool. You have governments, you have social organizations, like I come into place, and you have private organizations. All three of these three legs makes the chair to stand. So, but the people, we always say, government, I'm not saying the government are doing very well, but I know that the government by themselves cannot do it all by themselves. So when you were talking about the e-naira, that you don't think that they've done, there was something you said, you don't think that they've done proper orientation about the e-naira. They've not done proper orientation. We also need social organizations whose job is to go about orientating the people, just like the way national voters card thing is. The government is doing, go and do your PVCO, but you will notice that some political parties or some private organizations are taking it personal to see that they're driving that people should go and get their PVC. So first thing first is, government cannot do it by themselves, but the reason why, the main responsibility or the main reason why our environment is dirty is the people. Let's not deviate from it. And when the environment is dirty, it affects our health. It affects
personal health. Even though it's a public
Yeah.
and it's a general environment, it still affects our personal health.
That's effect already.
So health, and when you spend money on drugs, it's taking money away that you could have said, okay, man, carry this, let me use this money to go to Genesis and see a movie on the mall. So
Please don't remind me of movies.
so,
go ahead.
So when we fail to do that, for example, now a mother that has a child walks back from the market and she goes straight into the kitchen and start preparing her food. She may have touched germs when she was coming in. So if she sees, if a child or a son or a daughter comes in and see her mom does the same thing, she will grow up with that mindset. But if the mother comes in and before she does whatever she does, she washes her hand, she changes the diaper of a baby, before she pick anything, she will go and wash her hands. The child will most likely begin to emulate what her mother is doing.
True.
See, so the people is the first responsibility for the dirty environment. Let's not put the blame on anybody. Let's not blame the government. Let's not blame a private organization. Let's not do no. We can take personal responsibility. I know for a fact that they may not be as effective as we think they should be. But I know that there are what they call private sector partnership called PSP, and they try to work with residents and organizations to collect their waste.
Yeah.
But some people don't patronize them. There are some areas that you will leave. What they have is waste relocators. What they do is they move this waste from here
to
there. One woman was saying that she was not around for a couple of periods, and before she came back to her shop, her store don't turn to
refuse dump.
My church, we have a land at Willie Street. What happened is, because we've not gone there for a while, that place became a dump site. So it's people that go there and dump it. People that go there and dump this. And so the effect is health effect. Goes back to another reason why we should have a clean environment. Effect is health, which is very paramount. Posterity. That's why some people, when they go out, there was a group I was in. They were saying that what is dying, what is this, what is F. They were just saying about bad things that happen. When you look at all of them that said those things, it was people that all of them were outside worried, so they came to visit. Probably they've lived in maybe a cleaner environment, and they're starting to see that this thing is happening in our city. What can we do about it? I said, no investor will want to come and invest in a dirty place now.
Yeah.
No investor will come and invest their money in a dirty environment.
Right.
And while you were talking, it just dawned on me that, like he said, it's one person, each of us. Yeah. We forget that when we take certain actions, when we keep our environments dirty, it's, what do they call it?
Has a ripple effect.
Ripple effect. That is it. When you're ill, because of something, because I know I read about the plagues, some of the plagues in the past. It's a result of dirty environments. You know, by the time you get it, someone has contacts it. Before you know, it spreads. It becomes a problem in that particular area, and people die.
There's one doctor, I don't know, I can't remember his name, but there's one doctor that I think at the later part he was taken to a psychiatric hospital, but the doctor, a lot of young children were dying. And he came to see that the reason why they are dying is when these doctors give birth to these children, they don't wash their hands.
I saw that story as well.
You see that they don't
wash their hands.
So a simple action can just save a lot of life.
Yeah. All right. So we are running out of time, and there's so much questions to ask. But I think we've touched a bit of effect already, so we might not need to go into effect anymore. So now, one question we want to ask is, what are the measures being taken right now to combat these issues of uncleanliness? Let me use the word of our city currently. What are we doing? What do you feel that is being done currently, or probably if it's an advice or something? But what can be done? What measures do we have in place?
So there was a time that we did a cleanup at a full roundabout, and I had over 300 young people come to join us, and we did clean the gutter, clean the park. And after a while, we went back to where it was. And during the NSAS protesting, myself and my team were going to, after the protest in the evening, places with messy plastic drinks, clean up, and we would go. Then we went to clean. There was a place that we went to clean up. After cleaning the whole dirt that was there, rented PSP, packed dirt, we now dropped flowers. Those flower pots, dropped about 6 of them. Anybody that's coming to drop their waste here, when they see that this place is fine, they will not just have that mindset to drop it there. Less than a month, 3 months, the thing went back to the way it was. So we thought about it as an organization. What could we do differently to change this? It's realize that if the people know better, they will do better. So for me and for Clean Worry, what we are doing more now, it's education. Let the people know better. So we're talking about it on air, on social media, and we went as far as going to some maternity homes to talk to mothers.
So you're saying that NGOs are getting into such informing people. What is government doing? What is on ground?
What is on ground? I cannot categorically say that the government is doing this, but I know that the government, to an extent, they have this PSP truck and they have what is it called? They have mobile courts. So to execute or to effect judgment, when they see you doing something that they're not supposed to do, they will immediately maybe hold you and charge you and do the judgment, whatever penalty.
I'm not forgetting environmental sanitation.
But
the problem with the environmental sanitation, we know, is by the time they dig the dirt out of the gutter, for example, they leave it there. And then it goes back into it.
So for Clean Water Organization, what we are more focused on is awareness. The government has their own measures. Even some markets have their own measures. They don't open so days so that they can clean. So for Delta State government now, or for our government, what they do is every last Saturday of the month is the day we use for cleaning. But it's not as effective as it should be.
Another question is where do you dump all the dirt? I think that's a major challenge.
Sadly, for our city, we don't have an approved dump site. The only recognized one is in Agbaro. Sadly, for our city, we don't have an approved dump site. What we have, the closest is Agbaro. They used to be where they were dumping behind Old Airport, but that is not even a government airport. I think they've stopped dumping there. So we don't have an approved dump site where we could go and where you can go and drop these things.
And we don't have recycling culture.
Yeah, we don't have recycling culture, and we don't have a recycling organizations. The little that we have, resources, we need investors in that area. Going into recycling is a lot of money. There are some people that are collecting plastic and they're breaking them into pellets in this town, in this worry. There are some organizations that are looking, for example, now I was talking to one of my friends that's into environment. In fact, he attends your church, so he attends a Word of Life. He was saying that let's find a way to create hubs. Let's find a way to create hubs. These hubs where people can do something about, gather, and he was talking about, I think I spoke to another lady, another organization that is looking into that direction. So in a nutshell, two organizations are looking at how we can create hubs, but it is going to be capital intensive. Capital intensive. And we have a few recycle point and one other organization, 2 or 3 organizations that are into recycling, because it's really, really capital intensive.
So finally, quickly, your last words.
For a clean environment, we all need all hands to be on deck. I need you, you need me, and we need to drive the message. We need our young children, especially with the young children. We, to an extent, the adults know that a dirty environment is not good for everybody, but the young children don't know yet. There was a story I was reading. Like this particular young child, she just came from the parents just brought them from abroad, and they were inside the car. The father was eating banana or something. The father threw it outside in the moving car. The child now said, "Dad, can I do this?" He said, "Yes, you can." The child was just happy throwing, because the child knew that he cannot try that thing. But because he saw his parents doing it, so he was happy doing it. So what we can do is, let's in our own way try as much as possible to talk about clean environment and to do our best to raise a younger generation of, should I say, environmental activists.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
so much for your time, and we say, and we hope as well that you too, you have learned something today. So we say thank you to our guest, Mr. Collins Azuike. Thank you very much, and we appreciate your work for the city so far. Yeah, nobody's hearing it, but we know that definitely
people hear it. A lot of people know that's what you're up to.
You get to. The thing is, you feel that you're doing nothing, but the truth is you are making a lot of impact. And we thank God for that as well. All right, so that's all we can take for Arise Africa today. And remember, Arise Africa is open for sponsorship. Yes, it's open for sponsorship. So please reach out to us on the numbers on your screen. I am Boye Mark Anthony, and
well, just the last word, one last word to you. So please, we've got to sustain our cities, okay? We've got to take care of our cities, take care of our environment. Remember what our guest has said. It's in your hand. It's one person at a time. Pass the message across to people, educate people, and do the best you can in whatever situation you find yourself. I am Chichi Nwabo. Thank you so much for staying with us.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.